Hello pilots and welcome to this special Valentine Showdown brought to you by Out of Arc Gaming. Today we have a small game between myself and Mrs. Out of Arc, Sam, all to determine who will be paying for dinner on Valentine's. Now, we decided to have a little game here, and as Sam is not the most experienced at X-Wing, we decided we would just run two fairly simple lists, both running the same ship but with different pilots. And because it's Valentine's, we thought, why not have boys versus girls, the two main couples of the Star Wars universe. So Sam's list is Leia Organa in the Millennium Falcon with Heightened Perception, Magpulse Warheads, Veteran Turret Gunner, Perceptive Copilot, Chewbacca engine upgrade, and the Millennium Falcon title. And we also have Padmé Amidala in the N1 Starfighter with Predator passive sensors, plasma torpedoes, and R3 Astromech. On the other side, I am running Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon with Trickshot, Bistan engine upgrade, and the Millennium Falcon title. And Anakin Skywalker in the N1 with Marksmanship, Fire Control System, Proton Torpedoes, and R2C4. Now, these lists are uneven in the points, so for scoring in this, we decided to go on each point of health, so shield or hull, counts as 1 point to make it as fair as possible. Now, we're not doing any particular scenario, it is just a straight dogfight, so first to maximum points, which in this will be 18, wins. So, be interested to see how this goes. Again, I've obviously played a lot more than Sam, so the advantage would technically be in my side, but I'm obviously giving Sam tips and helping her where possible. But she has played before, and you know what? Actually, most times she plays against me, she beats me, so can't really complain there. But it looks like, despite no objective in the middle, the N1s are running straight into the middle of the board to try and duke it out. And there is Leia Organa following along right behind. Obviously, both sides do have a Force user on the table, with Leia and Anakin having access to the Force. Leia has the advantage to be able to take Force upgrades where Anakin Skywalker can't, which always seemed a little bit strange to me. I know, again, that Anakin in the N1 obviously hasn't gone through any formal training, but we never really saw Leia, well, maybe in Rise of Skywalker we saw some flashbacks, but she never really showed any real training in the Force, so always interesting that she gets access to Force abilities. But it's quite nice that she's got Chewbacca in there to give her the health bonus there, so obviously repairing those criticals, which, as we know, on the Falcon can be incredibly frustrating to have to deal with. And an aggressive move from Han there, right into the middle of the board. The arcs are left and right, so no shot there, but hoping to see if we can trigger trick shot there. But no shot, but it does look like, I think Padmé does actually have a shot back at Han at range 3. No tokens for me because I boosted with the engine upgrade on the Falcon, which is a great upgrade to actually have on the Falcon. I love having engine upgrade, just getting that extra bit of movement just feels right with the Falcon. And here we go for the first shot. So, as I said, this is all to determine who is paying for dinner on Valentine's. And so I'm just going through her cards to see what kind of tricks she actually has up her sleeve there. 2 crits off the bat, that is a pretty good roll to start with. And that is a shield down on Han. Obviously, when you've got 2 shots coming in and you get a result and a blank, you're not really going to be using Han's ability to re-roll that. Because no, my luck, I would end up with 2 blanks, and that would be 2 points to Sam. Padmé looking to avoid that obstacle there. She's got herself quite close to it, so having to do a turn to get out of there. Otherwise, she would most likely have been hitting that obstacle. And Sam's list is quite nice in the fact that both of these pilots are pretty handy when it comes to helping each other out. Obviously, Leia, with her ability after a friendly ship fully execute a red maneuver, if it's at range 0 to 3, you may spend 1 force. If you do that, ship gains 1 focus token or recovers 1 force. So quite nice there to actually provide some support, especially with these N1s. Obviously, they like to be going fast. If they're not getting that evade token, it feels a bit off, to be honest. So being able to give them focus there, if they do, their 3 talent is quite nice. And Padmé, her ability is just fantastic. If you're in her forward arc, you can only modify 1 focus token, or 1 focus result, which is actually really, really good. There's nothing worse than getting a range 1 trick shot and getting like 5 focuses and only being able to modify 1 of them. That hurts so bad. That is aggressive from Anakin. Will he be able to actually fit? Yeah, he fits that barrel. That is nice. M1 Starfighters are great. They've got really good maneuverability. They can be tricky because you see that full throttle ability and you want to lean in that and make sure you're getting that evade all the time, but you don't always need to do it. And Leia just slowly moving her way up the board there. Wait and see where Han will end up. It looks like a target lock has gone down onto Anakin there. And Han moving quite aggressively up the board. Maybe a little bit too fast. Don't think he's going to really be able to avoid that obstacle at the top left there. But should hopefully still trigger trick shot down towards Leia. That'll be 4v3 there, because it looks like it's a range 3 with an obstacle. So 3 evades for Leia and 4 attacks with Han, and Padmé's ability not triggering because Padmé is facing the other way. Not triggering Heightened Perception there so that she can have that force for defense should she need it. Oh, that's a pretty good attack. So 3 hits and a crit. Spending that focus there, you cannot complain about that one. But that is an amazing defense roll. Triple evade, so only 1 shield on Leia there. That is... The dice seem to be in Sam's favor right now. And that was a pretty good roll for myself there, but triple evades. And it looks like Leia is going to be going into Anakin. Spend that target lock. And spending the force for 2 hits and a crit. But triple evades for myself as well. Wow. That doesn't happen often. Does not happen often there. Now Anakin gets a nice range 1 shot into Padmé. Unfortunately no locks and no proton torpedoes, but does have the force to modify and will need the force to modify one of those. And no bullseyes, so can't turn that into a crit. And more evades from Padmé there. That is 8 evade dice rolled, 8 natural evades. These are standard dice, they're not full of evades, I haven't, no trade dice, but that's 8 evades in 8 dice rolled. That is actually mad. You really don't see that. I mean, anyone that was watching the stream on Sunday can tell you that the evade dice were not that good for the players at the weekend. And Anakin doing his cheeky, before he activates, barrel roll. And getting out of there pretty sharpish, does not want to be sandwiched between those two. Got to worry about Leia's arc there though. Boosting around for a new approach vector. Quite often what you want to do with these N1s is get in, hit hard, and then get out quickly to come back in. Just reminded Sam about the full throttle ability there to take that evade action when you fully execute through the 5-speed maneuver. Obviously we know that some of the defenders in the Battle of Endor pack have lost that ability. They get the Chiss engineering instead, getting that target lock. So I know there's been a few debates online about it, but those of you that have seen the Battle of Endor pack and are looking at the defenders, what do you guys think about losing full throttle and getting that Chiss engineering instead to be able to get that target lock? Do you feel that that is an improvement? Just a different way of plot? Will it drastically change the way you fly your defenders? Or do you think that you might just run the standard defenders and get that full throttle instead? Well, that is both Falcons going over obstacles there. No additional damage for Leia. Can Han emulate that? Nope, he takes additional damage. And again, these are both Rebel Falcons as well, by the way. I know we've got the Scum Falcon on the table, but they are the Rebel Falcons that we are using in this game. And obviously the Republic M1 Starfighters. I was looking at doing an all-girls squadron, an all-boys squadron. It was kind of difficult to get something that was fairly balanced and not overly complicated for Sam. She's very good with board games and video games as such, but with this, I didn't want to have a lot on there that would just frustrate. So not a great roll, so looking to see if can trigger Han's ability for range 1. No, just spending a focus there instead. There we go, 2 more damage. But 1 more damage, spending the 4, so 1 more damage going into Leia there. So score's still fairly even going into turn 3. It's 3 points apiece. Obviously, this is just a fun game. It's just a bit of something interesting and a bit thematic, considering it is obviously Valentine's today. So that's why we've got a boys versus girls matchup. Myself versus Mrs. Out of Arc, who puts up with me talking all things Star Wars and nerd stuff all the time, and I very much appreciate that. Convincing her to play was very difficult, and definitely did not just move that obstacle there for her a little bit so that Padmé didn't take any damage. It's okay to play loose with the rules in a casual game if you are helping your opponent who happens to be your wife. That's quite nice for Leia Amidala, sorry, coming all the way around the outside there, looking to head off Anakin. And looks like these Starcross lovers are both looking to have another pop shot at each other. Sam concerned that she might hit that other obstacle, but will absolutely be fine and clear that. Now, that earlier shot from Han into Leia, unfortunately, did not actually trigger trick shot. The closest just missed the very top of that obstacle. So despite Leia landing on it, there was no trick shot there. Chance for a cheeky target lock there. The range 3 unobstructed from Han back into Leia. Definitely spending that target lock. Oh, 2 hits and a crit. All going through there onto Leia. The green dice have turned quite rapidly there. And that crit is a weapons failure, which is definitely less than ideal there. Obviously at this point it's just reminding Sam exactly what Chewbacca can do. Again, I tried to keep it as uncomplicated as possible, but as we know with X Wing, sometimes there is a level of complexity that you can't avoid if you want to still make each list fairly competitive with each other. I mean, yes, I know I've got the I6 in Han, but Leia is still a pretty good pilot. I5 in a Falcon with lots of tricks and tools and putting another damage through on Han, so still very much holding her own there. With Chewbacca being able to repair those face-up damage cards, that is always going to be really solid. And Padmé's ability, as I said, is just fantastic. I mean, Anakin's got the ability to basically double barrel roll and has the Force, but Padmé's ability to just say no, focuses don't work is just great. And looks like Annie is just going to go into Leia. Absolutely nothing. Do I even... Yeah, focus spend there. Add another damage into Leia. I think we did miss the fact that weapons failure was on there and Sam did roll too many dice, but you know what? It happens. This is only a very, very casual game, so no worries there. However, while waiting for those dials to go down and initiatives to be flipped over, just want to remind you guys, if you do enjoy what we're doing here at Out of Arc Gaming, you can support us on Patreon. The link for that is in the description below. By signing up to the Patreon, you do get access to our Discord, where you can discuss all things Star Wars with us. You also get up-to-date info on what we've got coming up. We will be discussing Flight Academy Season 6 on there very soon. That is going to start being recorded in about 5 weeks' time, starting on the 20th of March. So you can expect the first episodes of that to drop early April. So that's Season 6 of Flight Academy. You'll get early access to what the format typing will be this time. But the link for that is in our description below for our Patreon. Very aggressive there from Padmé. Doing that barrel, hoping that I can skip past. Only doing the barrel roll so I don't land on the rock, and not going to skip past, but should hopefully keep myself out of arc there though, which is on brand and also ideal. Does leave me in a slightly better position actually though for that approach back down through the middle. If I'd have completed that, I'd have been almost where Padmé actually is, but quite close to that rock, so I'd have had to turn out before coming back in. And Sam moving that Falcon like a seasoned pro, picking it up by the base, not the ship, so that the ship doesn't fall off. So we know those large bases are pretty terrible when it comes to those pegs staying in there. Now does have arc back on Annie, and most likely we'll have arc on Han as well, so debating the best action to take. Obviously looking at that weapons failure, I'm reminding her that although she can repair it, she's got Chewbacca to do that at the start of the engagement phase. So reminding her of Perceptive Copilot, which gives her 2 focuses there, which will be incredibly handy when triggering Veteran Turret Gunner. And triggering that in combination with Heightened Perception does mean she'll be able to do 2 shots at Initiative 6. Well, Initiative 7 essentially. There we go, there's the Chewbacca trigger. Weapons failure is now gone, so that's just absolute winning there for Leia, especially if you're going to try and double tap. You want to do that with as many dice as possible. So she does have the target lock on Anakin as well, so it has double mods that way. So range 2 obstructed into Han. Does not need the focus at all. So that's hit crit unless I decide to go crazy and re-roll it. Kind of want that focus for attack. Nope, taking it, so hit crit. And the crit is a wounded pilot. Saw the W there and thought it was weapons failure for a second, which would have been very unfortunate. That second attack back. Going into Anakin. Another really good attack, and she's still got the focuses there, so 2 hits and a crit going back at Anakin. But there are all of the evades going to spend... No, taking it. Had already spent the force, don't have an evade, and didn't take a red focus. So there we go. That's a shield down on Anakin. So that does level the points up at this point, 7 all. Unfortunately, I now get to shoot, which is 2 hits and 2 crits. Double evades though, which is pretty good. 2 crits going into Leia though. See what that first crit is. Ooh, and it's a fuel leak. Now, we all know how frustrating fuel leak is, especially when it's the first crit of 2 that you've got to take. The next one, so she's obviously going to have to take a damage, then take the next crit. So it's a lot of damage going through there. The only way this combo could have been worse is if she had a hull breach first and then it was a fuel leak into a direct hit. But that is a lot of damage going through onto Leia. Sam was not very happy with that one, to be honest, and I don't blame her. That was quite savage. But Leia is by no means out. Anakin is going to get a shot at her, but it is going to be unmodified. It is going to be obstructed, so she's still got a focus for defense as well back there. Two hits. Two evades. There we go. The evades have been really good, actually. Unfortunately, it was just more successful hits than the evades could allow in that last round, but still, that could have been quite easily Leia down there. There was 6 hits, and she got maximum evades out of that, so but let's see what happens now when Padmé gets into the fight, doing a talon roll. So just having to show Sam exactly how the talon roll works. Those little symbols can be at first a little bit confusing sometimes when you're trying to figure them out. So obviously if you are playing against someone who is less experienced or newer to the game, always make sure you're helping them out. If you're introducing someone new to the game and you want them to be a regular player, always make sure that you're actually doing what you can to be a good tutor to them. You want them to enjoy it, because if they don't enjoy those first couple of games, then they're probably not going to come back. And we know at the moment how important it is to try and foster the community. Some areas have done really well with keeping that community going. Other areas it has trickled away a little bit. So if you are getting someone new looking to play, make sure that you are doing absolutely everything you can to allow them to have a good, fun game, and that you're introducing them to all of those really cool elements of the game. Don't bog them down with too many rules. Don't just go in to try and annihilate them. Fudge it a little bit to help them. If they're making a mistake, make sure you point them in the right direction. Just try and make it fun for them. We want to get as many people playing this game again as possible, because if you're watching this, I can only anticipate that you enjoy X-Wing and you want to have other people around you that are having a great time as well. And if we can help that, that's what we need to do, guys. But X-Wing is not dead. No matter what anyone says, X-Wing is not dead. But that is a nice bump from Han into Leia there. Sam spending her force to Heightened Perception so she can at least get a chance to shoot before Han takes her out. But that's a great shot. 2 hits and a crit. Re-rolling, gets the evade, so hit crit into Han, takes him down to 5, and that's a panic pilot. And yeah, that's not good. That Falcon's not moving anywhere very fast. I mean, so more than likely only going to have one ship to try and deal with in a second. Only one, and it evades it. So okay, maybe Leia can survive this. Padmé trying to end the saga early by taking Anakin out. If Padmé takes Anakin out at this point, does Leia just disappear? I mean, Han presumably would be still around in the Falcon, but would Leia disappear? It's an interesting thought. Oh, 2 crits, got the target lock, hit, crit, crit, ouch, nice. So, going to have to spend the evade, so that is crit, so shield and a crit, which is stun pilot, so definitely need to use all of Anakin's flying ability to not hit a rock at this point, otherwise that's going to go badly. And Proton Torps into Leia. Some might say this is a little bit overkill. Yeah, fire control system, Proton Torp, Marksmanship, yeah. That's probably overkill at this point. I mean, Leia is definitely down. It's going to be absolutely nothing that Sam can do there. That's a... I mean, to be honest, that is what happens when a Falcon and an N1 do gang up on another Falcon, so... Spending the evade. But that is 3 crits going through, not even going to put them up on the overlay, just going to flip them over. Lots and lots of damage cards out there. Points, however, still not that far off. Han's got 5, so he could go down fairly quickly. Anakin's only got 3, so this game is far from over for Sam. She can still pull this back. And if Han goes down, Anakin and Padmé could simultaneously kill each other. And then I suppose we're splitting the bill for dinner. Ooh, very aggressive there from Padmé. Definitely got a Falcon in her sights, and as I said, large base ships, you pick them up by the ship, they are going to come straight off their stand. 1 stress gone. So Han does get to shoot first. Unobstructed, I think it was range 3. Oh, that's a really horrible mix to have there. Just going for the full reroll, hoping to get something slightly better. And getting slightly worse, but still got the crit in there. But Padmé's got the evade, so won't make any difference. Rolled an evade anyway. Just see if we can strip that token. And Anakin does not have arcs, so this is free shooting for Padmé. She's got the range 1 on Anakin. So just a reminder, she's got target lock, so she can reroll that. Didn't matter. Didn't get anything, so range 1 on Anakin, 2 hits. I'm going to spend that evade to not take any damage. So yeah, if you're double modded and you've got focuses in there and blanks, only reroll the blanks with your target lock. Save the keep that focus there because you've got you can mod it already, so you don't have to worry about that. Absolute aggression there from Padmé. She has absolutely decided that Han Solo is the target. Again, double modded, we've got the focus and target lock, also have the evade there for Padmé for the return shot, so a good solid tokenage there. I look at the range, I think Proton Torpedoes might be in range. Oh, Han is getting out of dodge and has managed to get out of arc there. Boost to try and trigger trick shot, or just take a focus? Focus. Wounded Pilot does not trigger a stress, which is quite nice. So range 1 there on Padmé with a focus. Terrible roll. That kind of roll, you just re-roll all of it and get that. With a focus, 4 hits, that is ridiculously good luck. Spending the evade to only take 2 shields. And the final Proton Torps from Anakin only have, well, I've got 1 force, but only the target lock to modify. Going to use the force to put that into a hit, and then Proton Torp that into. So that is hit crit, and that crit is a console fire. Fortunately, Sam technically would have already engaged by now because she had initiative, so console fire not triggering there, that would have been a horrible way for the game to end. But most likely this is going to be the final round. It's almost unfortunate that Sam, I say unfortunate Sam got initiative there. I mean, Han was always going to be flying after her, but no way to react to wherever Anakin goes. But doing the 3 hard, okay. Probably hoping that Harley's going to go to the right. Anakin didn't really have much choice there with stress, so couldn't do the free barrel roll action and needed to avoid that rock. I don't think I should have barrel rolled there. Pretty sure he's still stressed, so my bad. And again, that Falcon falling off that peg. Short of super gluing the peg in, does anyone have any suggestions how to make those pegs more secure? I know that James has this sort of Lego system that he's got to do that, but... Two hits and a crit, that is, unfortunately for Amidala, Leia, Sam, the girls, that is game over. But you know what? Well played to Sam. She didn't let it stop her. She had a great time, but it does mean that she will be paying for dinner tonight. So I'm going to have the biggest steak possible with all sides and a really big dessert. But I mean, I just want to say massive thank you to Sam for actually playing a game against me for Valentine's Day. I know this isn't really her thing, so I do appreciate her immensely for that. And guys, thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys all have a lovely Valentine's Day, however you are spending that. And we will have some more regular content coming to the channel next Monday. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.